This is Panos here, co-founder and CEO of LearnWorlds. Thanks everyone for joining. Let's discuss today about how to choose the best e-learning platform for guaranteed long-term success. We have a great panel for you today, some great cases. Let's get a few seconds until everybody is settled in. We just started live streaming also on our social media channels. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box of Zoom. Let us know where you're logging in from, who you are, what you're doing, what you expect to get out of today's webinar. Today, we have also Stacy and Nelfi from our customer support side. They will be on the chat trying to answer as many questions as possible. And feel free to post your questions in the Q&A section of Zoom so that we can identify them, and hopefully we'll have some time in the end to tackle those questions. So, hi Peter, hi Joshua, hi Maxine, Melissa. Big audience here. I see already so many time zones, so thanks everyone for making the time. Tim here from Yakima, Washington, Walnut Creek, California. Thanks guys for making it today. We'll do our best here to give you a great overview of what is available right now out there in online course platforms, and with informed, transparent choices, give you the options so that you can know what to do as you are improving and working on your business. So let me turn on my camera so that I can probably welcome you all. Hi everyone, Panos here again. And we have a great audience for you here today. So I believe most people have settled. Feel free to ask your questions in the Q&A section. Don't worry about the recording. We'll make sure to send you tomorrow a full recording of the webinar. Also, you will be able to find it already on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/learnworlds. So I believe we can start. Let's turn on our cameras, guys, and we can proceed with the agenda.
Hello, everyone.
You.
Hi, Elisa.
17.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, guys.
Hey. Hello from Finland. Moi moi. Moi moi. Nice to see you. I love how many people around the world. We were just talking backstage where we all were, how we're all immigrants or migrants of something. It's so cool. I mean, technology 2024. Whew, what a time to be alive. So many cool people from so many cool places in the world.
And so on point with the topic as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if for people, like, make sure if you have an actual question, use the Q&A. I am an absolute weapon in the chat. You'll be wondering, how is Steve having a conversation with us today and answering the chat simultaneously? I don't know. It's like, must be this Australian superpowers. It must be something they put in the water. But it's okay.
He can do it. He can do
amazing.
it. We've seen it time and again. So let me introduce again our esteemed panel. We are super happy to have not just Steve Corney with us, who's a learning designer and strategist for Learn Awesome. We also have two great members, super valuable members of our team, Elisa, our in-house learning designer expert, and also Georgia, who is our migration expert. We were saying before that if you search back enough, everyone is an immigrant, and it's a nice path to migration. So here we'll try to help you to establish your options, explore your options, and be free in your choice of the next best tool to power your platform wherever you are coming from. So in today's presentation, we'll kick off with an expert comparison of the top e-learning platforms. So you hear from Steve, who's an independent e-learning expert and has worked extensively with most of the platforms out there. We're talking about online course platforms like Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, and LearnDash, which are the top by any measure. And hopefully this very clear, very transparent, and very detailed comparison will help you understand the strengths and the limitation of each platform so that you can make your own informed choices based on your own needs, based on what your team, your project, your company needs, and you can take the best decision. And next, we are extremely happy to also feature actual customers, real educators. This is the most inspiring, I guess, part for always for us to showcase real customers who have successfully made the switch to LearnWorld. They were using other platforms. They had their own successes, but also their own challenges with other tools. And at some point, they decided to make this, which seems like always like a daunting experience, this switch to another platform that seemed to be offering better tools and better fit to what they were trying to achieve at that time. So hopefully this will give you a first-hand look of how this experience looks like. And what we want to do here is also demystify what a migration is and how difficult it can be. There are so many people who are locked in the wrong solution because that's what they started with. That's where their data are. It's becoming technically or even mentally impossible for them to make this effort to switch to another platform, even if that other platform is so much better. It's always, there is a serious lock-in effect, let's say, in some cases by design in online course platforms. So we want to demystify that. We want to show you that this can be a seamless, easy experience. Why? Because we are helping people not only come to LearnWorlds, but even depart LearnWorlds if they would like at some point. We believe in open platforms. We believe in choice. It's 2024. People have so many options, and you cannot be locking people in. You need to give them choices, and you need also to trust in your process, in your project, and let the best platform out there win. So this section with Elisa and Georgia, I believe, will demystify this and show you how you can do it as well, so that you can get the best choices for your own platform. And then we'll wrap up with a Q&A. It's your chance to ask questions, so feel free to use the Q&A chat box here of Zoom. Our team here, and especially Steve, can answer more questions than you will be able to throw at them. So give it a try. Let's see if we can overwhelm Steve. I don't believe it's possible, but let's give it a try. So that's it from me. Let's begin then. So I'm super happy to be introducing Steve, e-learning expert and all around expert, I believe, but especially in platforms, especially in platforms. And always a joy to host him in our events. So, Steve, the ball is over at your feet.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone. And hey, folks, it's nice to see you in the chat. It's just great to see where everyone's coming from. If you know any Australian jokes or Australian words, please put them in there. Keep your questions coming. I'm trying to beat Alfie and everyone. I'm trying to beat the LearnWorld support team in answering questions in the Q&A box. So please put them in there as well. Folks, I just want to say that this is a very bold move for a platform like LearnWorlds to run a session that reveals some things that LearnWorlds might not do well and compare against some of the apex predators of the platform world. This is a first. I've never seen this done, and I just want to acknowledge that this is a very bold and very open and transparent conversation that we're going to be having today, which is absolutely incredible and unheard of in this world, given the climate that we live in. Platforms are no joke, folks. You can spend a lot of time, you can spend a lot of money, and there is a lot of, and I think it's okay if, has anyone, let's go in the chat, just a show of hands actually, or an emoji, maybe pick your emoji that best represents this. Has anyone had any overwhelm or confusion when trying to pick a platform to host their courses on? Just put an emoji in the comments there in the chat, because I have. My clients have. I've been doing this for nearly 20 years. I remember when a platform called Moodle came out, and you had to build it yourself. You needed a server, and it was awesome. But it broke my soul. It took a piece of me. And we're seeing already that a lot of people have had pieces of their souls taken. It's definitely tricky. So what we want to do today is we're going to go through a whole bunch of features and functions. Now, my job is not to overwhelm. My job is not to cover every possible facet. But what I want to do is I want to provide commentary to make you realize that it's okay to feel overwhelmed, because it's by design that they do that. We're going to try and demystify a lot of everything. We're going to try and show the balance. We're going to look at cost versus value. And then we're going to look at, for the long term, what's going to be the best bet. Because the worst thing that you can do is listen to your friend who says, you should use this platform because I do. In our world, you need to ask yourself at least 10 questions minimum before you can know what platform is going to be the best for you. So without that, let's just dive in and keep the questions coming. Oh man, look at this. LearnWorld back in 2001. Yes, Moodle. I love
was
it.
me. That was me, Steve. You brought back some memories.
Dude, I want some memories to come back. I love it.
I think there's a tear going down my face.
Now, for me, I take great pride in two things in my world. Number one is that in corporate learning, you've got a whole bunch of tools that you can build learning in. In 2 seconds, I can tell you what tool things are built in. I also take great pride in knowing what platforms things are built on. So what we have here are the top platforms. Now, there are a myriad, there are hundreds, but don't worry, we're just picking the apex predators. So we have LearnWorld's logo. That's Teachable. That's Thinkific. That's Kajabi, a nice rebrand by them too. They must be worried because they've needed to change their logo. But we have a saying in Australia, if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Now, let's let that sink in for a second. If you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Kajabi is pretty, but I've got an opinion, but it is just my opinion. But we're going to do an objective comparison today. And then finally, one that has taken more hours of my life and my client's life than any other platform is LearnDash, which is a WordPress extension. So with that in mind, these are our platforms that we're going to talk about. But let's get into the functionality. And Elisa, you're floating around too. So I'd love you to obviously, chime in and let me know. And also to LearnWorld's crew, if I dive down a rabbit hole for too long, please just cut me off or just send me a message in the chat and we'll walk away. A monkey wearing a silk dress. Yes.
Our lawyer, I just received the word that our lawyer had a heart attack based on what we're saying here, but no worries. Let's go.
If folks watching who are not from LearnWorlds, obviously, and I'm from Learn Awesome. I'm not affiliated with LearnWorlds. I just love the platform and I love what these guys do. My opinion, not the opinion of LearnWorlds. They just happen to have me here. They must have just accidentally let me in. But this is the key criteria that we're obviously focusing on. And look, I want you to appreciate here, what you're about to see is a bunch of columns and rows in tables to show all those 5 platforms, how they stack up against features. This has been done and researched quite heavily, and I'm going to make comments. So what are the most important features? We're going to be talking about those. We're going to be talking about customization and flexibility, which is super important in your world, and the price to value ratio. So I think that's super important. So if we look at this now, the recording is going to be super important. But just to get an idea in the chat, where are you at in your journey? Let's go. Number 1, if you're a current course creator and you've already got a platform. Number 2, you might be looking for somewhere else to put your stuff. So you might be looking to transition. Number 3, you're brand new. You're a newbie and you haven't made a decision yet. And this could really help and guide you. Beautiful. Thank you so much for putting them in. Welcome to the newbies. Thank you, OGs, for paving the way. But as we were sort of talking about at the start, Stockholm Syndrome is a real thing when it comes to platforms. The other fallacy that exists is sunk cost fallacy, which is the belief that because I've spent so much money and time into a platform, I need to recoup that as well as make money, as opposed to just cutting my losses and moving my stuff. It's very, very hard. And I've seen hundreds, if not thousands of clients struggle with the fact that I've spent so many hours and dollars on this current platform, I can't possibly move. Hopefully today this helps you. So let's have a look at this amazing thing. So across the top, going left to right, my left to right is obviously the platform. And then down the first column, we've got the features that exist. And what you can see here is we've done a great job at also highlighting what plan in LearnWorlds does this relate to in Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, LearnDash, and then obviously what is paid or additional, or what just simply doesn't exist. I'm going to call out a couple of things here, which I think are really important. So interactivity or content types, or the amount of different types of content that you can provide, is absolutely critical, because when we create courses, it's about making the content come alive. As a learning designer, our specialty is the way. It's not so much the what, the why, or the how. It's the most optimal way to package the content in a way that makes sense or that achieves the goal. So if I'm a learner, I want to be able to receive content in a variety of different ways. I don't just want video. I don't just want text. Those formats are quite static. And from an engagement perspective, if we're looking at making sure people complete the learning, dynamic learning, which has like interactive video, it has different assessment types, it has SCORM or HTML5. Now, if anyone knows what that is, put it in the chat. Give me an emoji if you know what SCORM is. And if you don't, I'll tell you, it's a really beautiful way to package. Mary, what a great question. Why isn't Moodle on the list? We could put 100 more things on this list, and I could happily stay up here to set a Guinness World Record for the longest webinar run by LearnWorlds talking about different platforms. I'll do that maybe in 2025, but Moodle doesn't need to be here because it just doesn't have enough functionality. SCORM is a beautiful way to package content to give you ultimate flexibility and ultimate design capability. It's used very often in the corporate training space, but there's only one, and I mean this, there's only one platform that allows it to run properly, and it's LearnWorlds. And if that's something that's important to you, I can just tell you right now, with all my experience, stop your search. You're done. But as you can see here, the level of interactivity, the level of functionality is very varied across the board here. And you can see that Teachable is a repository. It's a system that is built to go video, text, and that's it. And it's very lean. I started on Teachable when they first came out, and I know a few people that also have. Thinkific is a step down the road, where it's got a little bit more functionality, but you have to pay a lot of money very quickly if you want to extend some of the base functionality that you get with, say, LearnWorlds. Kajabi, as I said, the lipstick on a pig is absolutely true, because they are very clean. They've got a very beautiful brand. They promise the world in the sense that they're an all-in-one solution. And then, as you'll start to see through this session, there's a few things that they don't do, which is the interactive video, the SCORMs, and you have to upgrade, and you only get a certain number of things when it comes to that sort of stuff. And who's Tin Can? I see Tin Can in the chat. Beautiful. And don't dislike Moodle, Roberta. It's not Moodle's fault. Moodle paved the way for a lot of amazing things to happen. And just like WordPress, Moodle is open source. And without open source tools, we wouldn't be able to have things like LearnWorlds and these other amazing tools. LearnWorlds don't do the conversion from PowerPoint into SCORM, Shivani, but obviously cool people like us and other LearnWorlds experts allow you to help that as well. AI can create video lectures, but we won't go into that. So anyway, just on that, we're going to dive into the next area, unless anyone's got any other comments that they want to make on this slide. And just appreciate, this is a lot of info. So from a cognitive load perspective, don't feel, it's okay to feel like, whoa, this is intense. I was asking before about LearnDash. Is anyone using LearnDash? Yeah, I want to talk about LearnDash just quickly because it's super important. Matt wants how about Canvas? Look, Canvas is an enterprise grade LMS. That's and it's it can get super expensive. So just be mindful of that. But I want to talk about LearnDash. Who knows about LearnDash? Just in the chat, if you know a LearnDash, chuck number one. LearnDash is a mischievous mirage on the horizon of the desert. So you could be out wading the desert of course creation tool platform options, and you're thirsty. You just kill for a drink of water, and on the horizon you see this beautiful oasis full of water, sparkling water, Galactiburiko, gyros, all sorts of beautiful Greek treats. Elisa's there, Panos is there, just singing to you.
Going lyrical. Great.
And unfortunately, what it is it's LearnDash, and LearnDash is super cheap, super inexpensive, super expandable, super flexible, but it lives on WordPress. And out of all of these, you have to pay to keep the lights on. I think that's the best way to understand LearnDash, is that it's the most cost-effective and biggest and most expandable platform, but you'll pay for everything and you have to pay to keep the electric bill running. You have to keep the lights on. All these other platforms are software as a service, which means Panos, the guys over at Kajabi, Thinkific on the New York Stock Exchange still, maybe, I don't know what's happened to them, and Teachable, you pay them a monthly subscription to keep the lights on. Whereas LearnDash is a yearly fee of $180 and you have to keep your website running. And it is a scary time. I've had a lot of clients have trouble with that. However, if you have server experience, if you've got the ability to want to do that, then it's a really viable option. Okay. So let's have a look at this. So website and branding. So let's talk about, I saw a couple of questions earlier, is your website and your school, they can be in the same platform or they can be in separate. So if you've got a website, you don't need to close your website to use LearnWorlds, Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, or LearnDash. LearnDash, you could run your website and LearnDash on the same domain, www.yourdomain.com. That could be LearnDash. But when it comes to LearnWorlds, Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, those are all standalone. You don't have to worry about, adding your website to it. What you could do on Kajabi, on LearnWorlds, and on Thinkific, you could get pretty close to creating a full-blown website on there and move your website into one thing. So we call that vertical integration of your tech stack. So if you don't have to have multiple areas where your data lives, you could have one school, one website, then LearnWorlds would be a fantastic choice to just have a one-stop shop. And in this comparison, I would say LearnWorlds and Kajabi would be the most similar in this if you wanted an all-in-one solution and didn't have to go and bolt other stuff on there. Now, does that mean that Teachable and Thinkific are not good at website and branding? Not at all. Teachable is very simple, very clean, but with simplicity, you lose features. And so you just have to obviously look through this list, is that, do you get site flavors? Do you get multiple after login pages? You get a lot of page templates, and that's the beauty of Teachable's simplicity. But simplicity and flexibility are not the same thing. So just something to be aware of there. And I think what's important is obviously your questions in the Q&A are super important, because there's no way that I can address all of your things on this slide. For me to do this alone, this is an hour of work right here for me to unpack this. So I am just doing a high level approach to this, and we're going to be guided by your questions in the Q&A. So please, if you've got a question about something that relates to this slide, I'm keeping an eye on it. But obviously be mindful of that. I think too, what's important is that you're looking at something like a custom code editor. Now, if you want flexibility, that's the closest thing you're going to get in a software as a service. So LearnWorlds, Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, software as a service. LearnDash is a plug-in to your website. That's basically how I would look at those things. Those having code in the first four that are software as a service is your version of flexibility. It's one way, right? You can code it in if you like. But sometimes you don't have to, because if you're looking at like white labeling, most of these platforms do it except Kajabi. Kajabi, for some reason, they just want to tell you that it's built on Kajabi. Now, I don't like that personally. Does anyone have that? Does anyone have that opinion? So just a 1 in the chat if you feel that if you're paying to keep the lights on, you're paying for your software subscription, you don't really feel like having to see everyone's name or the name of the provider on there. Just put a 1 on the chat if you don't feel like that's necessary. Like you're paying. Yeah, I get you. And so I think at a certain level, it's okay, but there comes a point, and fortunately, LearnWorlds, Teachable, Thinkific, and LearnDash have realized that that's okay. So at a certain price point or a certain plan level, you can obviously turn that off. I'm just catching up with the LearnWorlds. Yeah, you can sell digital products in LearnWorlds. And we'll talk about that in terms of what you can sell. There's a slide on that coming up. And again, if you use LearnWorlds for your website, you decide you don't want to, that you want to leave LearnWorlds later. Is it not wiser to have kept your website separate? Yeah, look, Panos is typing an answer. I'm going to try and race him here, but I'll give the captain the chance to answer that. But I think what he's going to say is something along the lines of, yes, maybe, but eventually, what we want to avoid is we want to recognize that the Hotel California, the famous song by the Eagles, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. There we go. That's about as bad as it's going to get from me today, folks. But that's Panos was so offended by my singing, he left. Like that's how bad that was. But we don't want you to feel like you're locked in. And so none of these platforms will lock you in. You can leave at any time. You can check out anytime you like. It's all good. But is it worthwhile to consider? Look, it depends on what your business does, I think. I think if you've got an education arm to your business, then have your website somewhere else, no worries. But if cost is a factor, then put it all into one. Then you've got one place and one bill every month. You don't have to pay the electric bill on your WordPress site as well as your Teachable or Kajabi subscription because it starts to get expensive. What else have we got? Can please discuss prerequisites? Yep. So prerequisites is something that you offer. You must complete this course before you can do the next course. So that's something that we'll get into in future slides. But Meg, that's absolutely doable on, say, LearnWorlds. And then structurally, you could do it on the other three, and LearnDash, you can do it. So just be mindful of that. Email automation, that's coming up in future slides. So just keep an eye out. All right, Elisa, next slide. I think that's pretty good. All right, marketing and sales. So we've got, we're so lucky to have some amazing experts who have been there, done that, and absolutely crushing it. And I think that's super important. So later you're going to hear from Vinit, who has a sales school and a sales academy on LearnWorlds and has just migrated. Maybe we'll hear from where, but if not, we can hear from there. But marketing and sales is so important to enable you to sell. Who in the chat, show of hands or a number one in the chat, who's having trouble, or who would say that marketing and sales is a super, super important piece of their course creation business, or maybe the most important piece? Because without getting people to buy your stuff, you don't have a chance to prove that your education or your content is amazing. So yeah, it's good to see those ones coming in. I saw someone saying that their ears are hurting. I hope that wasn't because of my singing, but I wouldn't blame you if it was, because karaoke is not my strong point, but learning platforms is. So marketing and sales, let's look at this. So payment gateways, super important. We just saw everyone's from different parts of the world. So down in my island in Australia, we have these Australian dollars, and it's not a very strong currency. So if you're from the US, the UK, or in Euro, please come to Australia. You get a 40% discount. That's awesome, right? So I think again, yeah, Matthew, I think the recording's super important here. You're going to have to scrub back through this, and then obviously answering the questions. Angela, LearnWorld's super secure. ISO 20007, bam. But again, these, like, it's all servers and it's all good things that you need to check. So I think all these platforms, except for LearnDash, because you're responsible for your security there, they meet a level of standard and data security, data privacy, but do your own research there. Payment gateways, super important. Look at LearnWorlds here. They have a myriad of payment gateways that you can connect. Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, LearnDash. The thing about LearnDash, right, is LearnDash will do anything that you want. WordPress will do anything that you want, but you will pay for it in the end, either with a free plugin that blows up your entire website, or infects your entire install, blows up your server, or you'll pay for it with additional plugins or additional installs. So just be mindful of that. But look, I've got an active LearnDash subscription.
Sorry,
it's all good.
Steve,
Panos,
sorry
come back to me.
Sorry to interrupt a bit. I just wanted to mention that some of the worst horror stories I've shared in LearnWorlds is from people who are trying to migrate from WordPress sites. It's great, super easy. You start with it. It seems, so you get your first few dozens of students, and then at some point there is an update, there is a plugin that's missing, something happens.
That's
and
it.
We've seen
It's
people. I had people cry over a Zoom because their site was stuck at some point. So you need something that is scalable, and that's not just for LearnWorlds. That's, I guess, the advantage of every SaaS platform. If you're confident, if you have an admin, if you are an admin, a WordPress admin, or you have somebody, I've seen WordPress run with LearnDash or other plugins scale quite significantly, but there is always a horror story waiting to happen at some point that, you will get stuck with some limits that you didn't believe that they existed,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
it.
will just happen overnight. So sorry,
Yeah.
back to you.
No, that's it. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, mate. I think it's important because it's the LearnDash is the only one that's custom. Like you customize it, but you build it. You're in charge of it. All these others, you're paying to keep the lights on. You're paying for these things not to be a problem for you, and then that's important. If you don't want that hassle, but if you have the people power to deal with it, go for it. Fill your boots. Fill your boots. Sales funnels. So obviously, you get funnels from like pro trainer level 15. Basic at Teachable, all plans of Thinkific. Kickstarter, look at this, Kajabi. There's always catches with Kajabi, you know? Kickstarter, you get one funnel. Are you kidding me? 3 in the basic, 5 in the Grow, Pro 100. Okay, nice. And then LearnDash is via integration because it's connected to WordPress. So you can build any page on a WordPress, but it's separate. So I think sales funnels are super important to be able to do it, and to be aware that that's a really useful strategy to have a landing page into an opt-in, into an upsell, into buying a course. And look, there's no questions in the Q&A. The team are killing it. 43 questions answered in less than 30 minutes. Well done, team. Amazing stuff. Promos and coupons.
We can do better. Keep them
Let's
coming.
go. More questions, more speed. Right.
More energy,
So,
more passion.
more energy, more passion, more energy. Lisa, oh man, I miss you, man. I need to come over to Greece and just hang out so that we can just have that much fun in real life. Promotions and coupons, like the cornerstone of how you can generate some sales or offer MVPs or beta testing to some of your favorites. So all plans are LearnWorld, basic on Teachable, basic on Thinkific, and so it should be, which is great. SEO, all plans. So again, most platforms, if they're not doing that, that's why they're not on the list. You won't see Moodle there. Moodle doesn't give any care about SEO or your soul, but it paved the way for a lot of us. Course bundles. So bundles are important. So here we go. All plans for Teachable from the start, all plans, and it's an add-on for LearnDash, and it's from the pro trainer level at LearnWorlds. And I think this is where the platforms start to dance out, right? So to do an objective comparison, you're not, because you're not comparing apples and oranges. You're comparing like apples and zebras. And then you've got it, and you throw another platform in there, and you're comparing a zebra to a monkey. You know, it's super tricky. I would argue that you don't need a bundle straight out of the gate, which is why LearnWorlds has it at a further down the road plan. But they have other stuff like heaps of payment gateways straight out of the gate so that you can get currency from anywhere in the world and sell one course well first and then go into bundles when you're ready. I think it's important to be able to grow. That's critical. But you know, everyone's got their own thing. Same with memberships, same with subscriptions. So a couple of questions about, can I sell digital products? Yes, you can. You just use a course container in, say, a LearnWorlds to do that. Whereas Kajabi, Thinkific, Teachable, they have their own little names for their courses, their containers, their marketplaces, blah, 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 blah. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you do put your questions in the chat. How does the affiliate program work? Now you need to ask that question. So affiliate program inside for your school or the LearnWorlds affiliate program, because there's two questions in there. So just be mindful there, Angela. If you want to clarify, that would be great. Marshall, how similar or better is the LearnWorlds platform compared to next generation learning experience? I'd love to know what a next generation learning experience platform are, like an LXP.
Me too.
You can talk dirty to me, Marshall. Please just let me know if it's LXP or if it's something really cool. Let us know. I've got FOMO. And then how much is Pro Trainer? $99 per month. I could work for LearnWorlds if I needed to, but why would I when I've got so many cool LearnWorlds cats here? All right, let's go. User and school management. Panos, do you have something to say?
No.
No, you good? I heard you. Like if you want to just say, hey, just jump in whenever you want. We're gonna have a Moodle catch up later. We're gonna share Moodle. We're gonna share
Stories.
Moodle stuff.
And cry.
Yeah. Angela, the LearnWorlds affiliate program is amazing. 25 to 30%. You get your little code on Partner Stack. It's amazing. You give that out to your clients and then off you go. They sign up to their school, 30-day trial. Happy days. Fill your boots. So if you need some info, the team will put that in the chat for you, which is amazing. Yes, there will be a recording anonymous. Identify yourself. Tell us who you are. We don't want you to hide behind the anonymous attendee shadows. Okay, user and school management, super important. So you've done all the hard work to get people in. You've got bums on seats. You've got some amazing content, which we think we are because you're experts. Brilliant. Hey, in the chat, I'm going to save the chat because I always love to, the privilege of being a learning designer is I get to be professionally ignorant. which means I don't need to know the subject matter because you do it. And I just know the best way to put your content into a program to make it engaging and interactive. In the chat, tell me what topics you teach, because I love this piece. Everyone pay attention to this. Look how cool, look how smart the whole bloody world is. It's incredible. Put what you teach in the chat. Let us know. And I'm going to talk about user and school management. So custom roles, certificates, user groups, user automations, user tags, sign up approval, and student comms. All of this is bread and butter stuff. Like, you need to have this running in the back end so that you can deliver a really great learning administrative experience. So most of the platforms have a version of this, but if you look at LearnDash, yes, add-on, yes, add-on, add-on, via integration, add-on, 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 RIP, right? If you've got a dedicated person to look after your server and make sure that it doesn't light it on fire, go for it. But that is one of the downsides of LearnDash right now. You're going to start to see yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. Kajabi, no. All plans, no. Basic. So Kajabi, not so much, because Kajabi doesn't really care about the back-end learning administration, because Kajabi is a repository. It's not a learning management system, because you can just store content there. The key with this back-end stuff is that it's what it's allowing you to do with the content. We'll talk about reporting in a bit as well. But I think basic things like automations, tags, that's there, which is cool. Notification, community is important. So all the platforms have community of some kind. But again, a teachable community versus a LearnWorlds community versus what you could do in LearnDash custom for pieces of your soul. Again, hard to compare because they're going to be different. Look at all this amazing stuff. Life coach, painting, photos, DEI. Yes. Oh, Manon, beautiful to see you again, mate. I remember DEI was part of a previous webinar. Floating mares determining where to go. Nice. Amazing. Super cool. Can import existing course from LearnPress. We're going to talk about migration later, which is all good. The affiliate for Madonna, there it is. We'll get that to you. Reporting is super important as well. Grades and assessments. So here we go. This is the real meat and potatoes of, if I told you, how would you know if your course in the chat, how do you know without reporting? Because that's the key here. That's the key to my point. I'm telling you the end of my joke before I tell you the start of it. How do you know that your course is doing well? How do you know? In the chat, tell me how you know. What would be some things that would tell you that your course is doing well? Get chocolates from students. Hell yeah, Captain J. Yes. Continued enrollment, completion rate, it sells. Thomas, that's a great answer. If there's money going in your bank account, I would say that's one piece of the puzzle for sure. Surveys, completions, beautiful. So, number one, if people are buying your stuff, that's a good sign. But if I buy it, there's a stat which is horrible. It's like 3% of people complete courses they buy. So, 100 people buy your course. You get $100. Let's say you sell it for $1 each. You get $100. 97 out of those 100 people aren't completing your course. Scary, because the next thing that you'd want to know is who's going to buy the next thing. Lifetime customer value. But then you want to know more granularly, and I think this is what this is all about. And all these platforms, except look at our friend LearnDash. No, add-on, no, but, yes, maybe, RIP. But do your own research. All plans for Kajabi, most of the time for Thinkific, Teachable. But again, the level of granularity here is really, really important. And I'll say anecdotally, from personal experience, LearnWorlds has one of the richest reporting formats that I've ever seen, which is why it's our platform of choice for a lot of our corporate clients that are looking for a lightweight LMS solution. But without good reporting, it's absolutely, Marshall, it's absolutely compatible. Sorry, Alfie, I got there. 1.2 SCORM, 100% compatible. But reach out to me. I want to talk to you about your SCORMs. They sound amazing. The reporting's super important, folks. And obviously, when they skip the slide and they move it, it means, hurry up, Steve. You're talking too much. And I get it. I feel you. I feel you, dudes. Nice non-verbal communication, a little bit passive-aggressive, but that's okay, Elisa. I'm good. I'm cool. I love it. I love it. But reporting's super important because you can get, like, how long am I spending on this slide? Where am I dropping off? What user engagement? Because inside the course is going to tell you whether or not your content needs to be improved. Because just by improving your content, you can get a massive boost in completion rate. How many words per minute do I speak, Elisa? You guys do so well to tolerate me. People would usually watch YouTube on 2.0.
We will check the analytics later.
Yeah.
All
we
right,
have
mobile. So
we have a lot to fill in, I guess. So let's try to wrap up
let's go.
this section
Done.
so that we
Noted.
can go
wanna get
also
to the
to our
people.
esteemed guests. Yep,
I want
let's
to get
to
to the
people.
guests too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So mobile's really important. Mobile responsive websites, cute. Must be done in 2024. LearnDash through integration and then dashes across the board. You have to bolt it on and it's expensive. Kajabi has a branded app, so that's a gray label app. And then obviously white label apps is starting to get questionable. They're bringing it in. But if you want to go mobile, you want to make sure that you're going to have a online school and your app should be in vertical integration. It should be the same. And LearnWorlds is one of the only ones that does that well. Thinkific is coming soon and a bit of extra to get it done. You can get a gray label app, which means when you download the app, you see the Thinkific logo in the App Store as opposed to your logo. So I think that's super important. But most of the heavy hitters, which is to be expected, LearnWorlds and Thinkific and Kajabi, they're the heavy hitters there as well. ClickFunnels, no comparison because they have funnels, but ClickFunnels Learning is just it's a joke. I'll be as respectful as I can there, Patricia. It's just you may as well just upload video and hope for the best. There's no learning that goes into the ClickFunnels thing, but it is a phenomenal marketing platform. I'll give it that for sure.
Agree.
Yep. Can you download courses? I saw that one pop up that got answered. Beautiful. Shopify when making payments. So we can, Felix, fantastic. But the amazing support team in LearnWorlds, you raise a ticket, boom, they're onto it. I did one yesterday. 2 minutes, I got a response. Incredible. All right, I'm going to move on. Customization and flexibility for different business models. This is super important. Your business model, when it comes to how you package and sell your knowledge, critical. So having flexibility. Can you sell courses? Yes, is across the board. Can you sell community memberships? Yes, is across the board, except LearnDash. Yes, but you have to put a plugin in there. And if you're going to put a plugin there, I'd use BuddyBoss because BuddyBoss makes it look like a Facebook group. However, if you don't have a dedicated server, which is a box that lives in a room that's got your name on it, RIP. You heard it here first. Subscription-based selling, everything across the board. Freemium, yes. Coaching, consulting, yes. But LearnDash, yes, with a plugin. Licensing and certifications, yes. And corporate trainings, yes, for LearnWorlds, because LearnWorlds is an LMS, not just a repository. So it allows you to have reporting. Because corporates need much more information than normal. And then Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, LearnDash, not the best fit for that. And I agree with those things. So definitely with respect to customization, the platforms all perform quite well. But again, it's one piece of this huge puzzle that you need to factor in. And hopefully my point at the start was you need to ask yourself a minimum of 10 questions before you even start to pick a platform. And I can help you with that personally. So reach out to me on LinkedIn if you need to ask more questions or have me ask you some questions. What about pricing, right? So I think this is really important, is no free trial for LearnDash. No soup for you. No soup. Teachable, no free trial. They used to. And then Teachable burnt a lot of people. Thinkific burned a lot of people with their pricing as well. Kajabi, I would say they're expensive for what you get, but you get 14-day trial with a credit card. LearnDash, 30 days, man. The number of clients I have who have I'm burnt. I can't choose another platform, Steve. I'm like, dude, here's 30 days trial. No questions asked. After 30 days, just disappears. You choose whether you pay. That's super respectful. And I like people who are respectful because that is a respectful way to do business. Is hey, you choose. If you like it, cool. If you don't, go try Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, maybe LearnDash. But that's a way. Free plan. There is no free plan in LearnWorlds. And some people may say, that's no cool, because Teachable have one, Thinkific have one, Kajabi don't, and LearnDash don't. So if you want to get started on a free plan, fantastic. But what they don't tell you is that they're going to take a clip of the ticket, mate. They're going to take 5 or 10% or $5 a sale to pay for that free. Now, I don't mind that. I think that's respectful as well. It's respectful back to the platform. You get all the functionality, you give them a clip. That's a great way to get started. The cheapest plan, so LearnWorld's cheapest US dollars, I think. Yeah, this looks like US dollars. If not, it may be euro, but it's definitely not Aussie dollars.
It is
24 a month. It's US, yeah. 24 a month for the startup. Teachable's basic is 39, but they have a free plan, but you're paying percentage of your sales to them. Thinkific, 36. Kajabi, 55 a month. LearnDash, there it is. It's a trap. It's the mirage, $199 a year. Come over to here. Come over here. Everything's cool. Everything's beautiful until it's got you. Then you're sucked down into the quicksand and you're never seen again. The medium plan, the most expensive plan, and I think that's important, is if we look across there. Now, some of you are going to say, but Steve, on the starter plan in LearnWorlds, they take $5 a sale. Yes, they do. And that's, again, it's a way for you to get started in a platform that's really amazing. But what you'll see here is Teachable. Free $1 plus 10%, basic 5%. And then usually from the pro tier, they stop charging or taking a percentage. And I think that's fair. That's fair across the board. Kajabi, 0% on all plans. But, you know, there's some other downsides to that. Let's move on to the next one. Ellie, you'll see this in the example with that's coming up. I've just got it. Oh, cool. Perfect. I'm going to go into the chat and answer your questions.
Steve, let's do a little change of plans because our guests have some hard stop. So we'll switch directly to Vinit.
Vinit needs to get on.
Come back with then we'll come back with Elisa. So
Beautiful.
let's go to Vinit. Hi, Vinit.
Hey.
Thanks for waiting patiently on the sidelines. It's your time now.
Thank you.
I don't need to ask you any questions, mate. Sell me this pen and tell us everything about your amazing school. Go. You're all over it.
All right. So I'll just kind of quickly introduce myself. So thank you very much, guys. And Panos, and the team, thank you very much for building the LearnWorlds platform. Sorry. So look, who am I? My name's Vinit. I'm the founder of London School of Sales. I help small businesses find their unique path to market success. Been in sales for about 25 years. Left corporate life about 7 years ago, founded London School of Sales, created, I think it's probably the most comprehensive library of e-learning courses for sales. We've got 52 already, and we're building some more. And one of the reasons why we're here today is because actually we've split our B2C from our B2B. And that's one of the big reasons why I think LearnWorlds was a very attractive proposition for us. So yeah, that's a little bit of background about London School of Sales, but I think that we love everything that we have experienced so far. And I'm kind of really, really pleased that we made that move.
And do you mind sharing what platform you were using before LearnWorlds?
Yeah, so this is interesting. And I think Steve's alluded to it before. So several years ago, when I first founded London School of Sales, we made the decision to develop our own proprietary learning management system. Wow. So all of our content, all of our content was developed in SCORM. Again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and no matter what anyone says, SCORM is incredibly powerful.
Oh yeah.
And the reason we did it is because back in the day, there wasn't this kind of webinar where we had the choice, the options that we have today. And essentially, you had to pay so much money to be on someone else's platform. You had no flexibility. You literally were bound by their rules. And I just didn't think that was right. So at the time, we developed our own platform. We were able to develop our own content. We had total control of how we administered all of our courses. However, at the same time, though, post-pandemic, something like LearnWorlds existing has completely transformed our approach. And earlier this year, when we were evaluating it, we said, we're not a tech company. There is no longer a reason for us to actually continue to invest in a platform. We can actually spend our time, our resource, our energy focusing on the thing that we are really good at, which is the content, which is the learning, which is helping people. And actually, we can kind of get rid of the tech and pass it to the people that are good at it. That's essentially it.
Yeah, that's great. So can you tell us a little bit about the migration process on your side? Did you find that difficult? How easy was it to leave your custom solution to come to LearnWorlds?
Yeah, so you know what? We signed up to the 30-day free trial. And during that process, one of the most important things for me was that my team, and by the way, when I say team, I work with a number of individuals who are experts in their own field. So my marketing guys, my tech guys, etc. And it was absolutely important for my team to be happy with LearnWorlds. Because for so long, I was banging on about we should change, we need to move, but they weren't convinced. So what we did is, as part of that 30-day trial, we got all of them access to the system. We said, look, go and play with it, go and have a look at the different areas, and let's make sure that it's going to be right for you. On the back of that, we had a kind of meeting internally and we said, okay, this is great, but I didn't want the team to be bogged down in terms of doing the heavy lifting with a new system that they weren't comfortable with. So what we did is we actually acquired the services of LearnWorlds, and we asked LearnWorlds to do a big part of the migration for us. So Georgia, who's on the call as well, so she was kind of the key contact, and she answered so many of my questions and the team's questions around migration. And essentially with the migration, we split it into two. So one part was all about the course migration, and then phase 2 was all about the user enrollment, progress, all of that migration. And because we had our own proprietary learning management system, we had a few extra steps to go through. We had to go through kind of some manual checks because we didn't have everything in the way that you might want it to. But in all honesty, it's not that much work in terms of from what I had to do. I'm just glad that there was someone like Georgia there who was able to answer all the questions, and then we were just able to basically throw all of our stuff across to her, and she made sense of it.
Oh,
Hey V,
that's
there's
great.
a question from Madonna in the Q&A. Have you continued with the B2B arm of your business, and has LearnWorlds helped you like do both, or have you just focused B2C now?
And well, that's partly the reason why we're with LearnWorlds, and that's
Beautiful.
because actually the B2C side is all sitting on LearnWorlds now. And the B2B side sits on our platform, our website.
Yep.
But we are planning on building all of the B2B part on LearnWorlds as well, native on LearnWorlds. So not using SCORM, we're actually thinking about using the native course building tools, because the B2B stuff works in a completely different way. A lot of it's live, a lot of it's group, a lot of it's community led. So that's the other reason, that was part of the decision-making process that actually led us to LearnWorlds, because we looked at all of the ones that you talked about, Teachable, Kajabi, Thinkific, LearnDash. I looked at all of them. And to be honest, yeah, each one of them has its quirks. But LearnWorlds, for me anyway, was the one that was actually constantly investing, evolving, trying to improve. Like even since we migrated, I think every week I get something to say we've done something new, we've added something, or we're looking at this. Yeah, so a final point on migration, I'll say, is that I've had to use the customer success team. They're great. I've had to use the support team. I mean, I'm sitting there on a Saturday night sometimes, or a Sunday night, and I email the support team and I get a response back, and I'm like, hello? I wasn't expecting anything back. I'm just clearing my kind of inbox. So that's great as well. Actually, having that support 24/7 has been kind of invaluable for us.
Just
Incredible.
one last question for you. I think I'd like to ask about post-migration. So has LearnWorlds met your expectations? And if so, do you have like a favorite feature that you're using the most?
So has it met expectations? Absolutely. There are elements and terminology in the system that is different to how we would have it. But remember, when we develop our own proprietary system, we call everything what we want to call it. So it has taken my team some time to get used to some of that. But now they look at it and they're like, yeah, on demand, we can just change stuff. And they love the fact that we can just do stuff straight away. No one needs to know. Everyone's got access control. We can have multiple users, different roles. Everyone knows what they've got to do. Everyone knows how they are going to use the system and what work they've got to do. Me personally, I love the fact that you've got the automations, the triggers, because with a little bit of work, you can basically do anything that you want. It needs a little bit of kind of time to think about it, the logic. But I just tell the guys, my team, actually, this is what we need to do. And then I just leave it to them to figure out how to get the automation or the trigger to work. And I know, generally speaking, they will figure that out. So that's been a really kind of good thing that I love about the system.
Oh, that's great.
Great,
well,
great
thank
story.
You so much.
Great story, Vinit. Sorry, Lisa, interrupting. Vinit, it's a great story. I've seen this play out so many times. Again, people having their own needs, building their own custom platform, and at some point it becomes untenable. You have to reinvent the wheel so many times, while we are doing that for you. We know that you have a very difficult job to do, to create your content, to do your marketing, to grow your business. So worrying about the platform shouldn't be one of these. And the other thing that you mentioned about what we are building, bringing new features, LearnWorlds has more than 1,300 new feature requests per month from people like you who have their own businesses. They know their business models. They're not just asking for just another random feature or button. They're asking for very, very specific things. So we are able to get all this complexity, encapsulate it, hide it, and give it back to you as features that somebody like you needs to grow their business. So this is this flywheel of getting feedback from the community, integrating into the platform, giving out all these features, and coming back to you and enhancing your business, augmenting your business. So it's a great story. Thanks for sharing it.
You're very welcome. I'll just say one last thing. From a cost perspective, just the return on investment is ridiculous. If you invest the time in using the system, optimizing the system, you really, there's so much potential there. You've just got to invest the time in it. I'll leave you with that. So,
thank you.
Thank
Great
you guys.
stuff, man. Congratulations. There's a couple of questions that are saying like, oh, can we see? Elisa's going to show us some stuff later, but obviously we want to hear from the amazing people first. But I absolutely appreciate that that seeing is a great way to connect and bridge. So stand by. And I know that my main man Javier, he's got some stuff for us too. So hey, Elisa, take the reins. I'm going to be smashing the quick Q&A in the chat. Let's rock and roll. Who's next? Oh, is it Javier now? We're gonna talk to Javier.
Hello.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to Javier.
Good. Cafe.
Hello, people. Thank you.
Database.
Oh, okay. I introduce myself. I'm Javier Morales. I'm Oracle Database Certified Professional, and I'm Oracle ACE. So it means I'm a content creator and also have an academy. I work in Oracle consultancy and education, like for 25 years from now. So I'm quite an expert on my field. And I also run my own business, so I have to do everything. Like I have to do all the technical job, the promotion, the marketing, the financial stuff. So I'm in charge of everything. I'm the wonderful orchestra man doing everything. So that's it. And my project is called Cafe Database. It's I wanted to make like a learning content based on cognitive science to teach Oracle databases from the expert level using cognitive science and model explosion, lots of techniques to learn. Like I said, it's like learning expert databases, like having a coffee with an expert. It's like sharing a coffee and discuss expert things. So that's my project. That's what I do.
That's such
amazing,
an
mate.
interesting
How cool.
Yeah.
How cool. I thought you were a coffee guy. I thought you were in the coffee world, but obviously you're in the coding and the amazing super nerdville, which is super necessary, right? It sounds like being able to teach that stuff and distill it is super valuable and super in demand. What's been where were you before? Like I know that you've got some horror stories and some real in the trenches stuff, Javier. Where were you before you came to LearnWorlds, and what was that like?
Yeah, I started in Teachable and in Patreon. You can imagine, because I wanted to have I wanted to have like a subscription, different tickets for the cheap ticket for small content like small video tutorials and so on. I was going to deliver it on Patreon. I was going to include a medium ticket and sell it with Teachable. And I also wanted to have like a high ticket with one-on-one sessions, like a private mentoring and so. And, I use in Patreon, Teachable, Discord, Calendly, making the users to use a different platform for each thing was really messy. And, it was a really bad experience. So that was my main reason to move from all those platforms and have like one neck to choke. You want to have one platform.
They're all in one. This is the all-in-one holy grail we've seen it so many times with entrepreneurs and edupreneurs who are juggling all these tools, duct taping them together, you know, with the Zapier, whatever, imports, exports, and it becomes a mess. And then you're just doing that instead of running your business.
And also the price, because I was paying for Teachable plan and Patreon. For example, Patreon, it seems cheap because when you have like 1 or 2 followers, they just get like 30% of the cost. I think it's okay. But when you're growing up your audience, then the price is growing like proportionally. So you can get, you know, like a very high month cost if you have mixed platforms that allow you to start from zero and then they grow as you grow. So that was being a main issue in my case.
So how was your, I mean, we heard from Vinit, but how was your migration experience on your side?
I was afraid.
It sounds normal, actually, to be afraid.
Yeah, because I have, you know, like many sources and Teachable has, you know, like the progress of the users, and so I was afraid that it's going to be like a mess. Like saying to the people, okay, you have a lot of platforms, you have Discord, you have Patreon, you have Teachable, let's move to another one. I thought it was going to be a mess and have a lot of people, you know, canceling, and so I got 0 cancellation. It was Georgia who made an excellent work. She migrated everything. Teachable, she migrated only in 1 week. And I moved all the Patreon things by myself because Patreon is not a LMS. You know, Patreon, it works like more like a YouTube channel. You go uploading like chapters or small videos. So, and I could migrate them all the platforms to LearnWorlds in 2 weeks. So it was quite smooth. I had zero canceling, and it was a success. I'm quite happy.
So
thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. You did excellent work there.
The fear was unmerited.
Get some phone reception, mate.
Is here to you anyway.
Yeah, Hannes, you're breaking up a little bit, but
sorry,
it's okay. Right, I think I don't know.
I've got a question. I've got one more for Javier, right? Because I think for some of a lot of our course creators here, remember they were number 3s, which means they were newbies and they haven't considered a platform yet. So it's all beautiful to see these apex predators who are super successful, like Vinit and Raj and Javier. So when you were getting started, Javier, what was maybe one of the most important things that that you did to really make sure that you've set yourself up for success? Because you're super successful now, and congratulations. But what's the one piece of advice that you could give to someone that's in the newbie stage? What advice would you give?
The thing is to choose wisely on the start, because you can start anywhere with any platform, like they can make you to try easy, but I think you have to choose wisely. For example, my model of subscription and selling courses, so it's quite particular, because I wanted, for example, in the basic subscription, I wanted that those courses were not be on sale publicly. They can only be sales through subscription. Some other long-term courses to be able to be sell manually, and also you can get them through a subscription. I also wanted private courses with one-on-one mentoring. I had it all in my mind, you know, and
nice.
So it's super important that you choose wisely the first platform to start, like going with all the features. That you choose a platform that can allow you to make everything. And since I immigrated, I told you that I have these 3 tickets, you know, the low ticket, medium ticket, and high ticket for this group mentoring. I found that LearnWorlds allowed me to create an even higher ticket for private courses with one-on-one private classes. So I'm charging for these students like 900 and 600 euros per month.
Beautiful,
So,
man.
and this is a product I could not make it neither in Patreon or in Teachable. So using the tool, I found out that I could do this. So I'm super happy.
Well done, mate. Well, again, massive congratulations. But you know, that's two out of three ain't
Congrats,
bad.
Fabian.
But they say we save maybe one of the best till last. But Raj has been super patient. Raj, get on up here. Get on up here. He's the coolest looking dude on the call.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to lift my game. I'm gonna have to lift my game, sir. Tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit. Thank you, Javier. Stay around in the chat, folks. Ask Javier some questions. He's got so much value to give. But Raj, you're a smart guy as well, by the sounds of it. I'm I've checked out your school as well.
Oh,
tell us
great.
everything. Tell us about your
Thank you.
journey. Tell us about what you do. Welcome.
So my name is Raj, or Raj Veer, full name, and I'm living in South Germany. And my teaching career started 14 years ago when I was actually giving live seminars on YouTube. And then one of my friends said, hey, why don't you sell your videos? Why it's just on YouTube? I was like, okay, I'd never know how to sell my videos. It was like 14 years ago. And then I found a platform where I started uploading my courses, and that's how my teaching journey started. And I found students all over the world from my videos. And at that time, I was only familiar with Udemy, where I uploaded my courses. And I still do it on Udemy. It's a good platform. But there was something which was missing. I wanted to have subscriptions, and I wanted to have control over my students. I wanted to have their email address so that I can talk to them. And there were many other features which Udemy was missing. By that time, 2014, I joined Teachable. And that time it was a very plain website, plain platform, but it was something that was needed, and I got it in Teachable. But later over the time, I realized I'm missing something in the website. For example, my website looks very plain. There were not much graphics, not many tabs and counters or labels or icon or library. I couldn't add anything. But if I had to add something, it was like I have to do coding myself. It was mostly to add CSS, change the CSS, change the HTML, and I was not the IT guy. I'm the automation guy. I work with robots and PLC programming, HMI touch screens and all. So I don't want to learn IT to change my website. I want something different, quick and easy. So I get to know LearnWorlds, and then I was like, okay, let's give it a shot, because I had so many students and I don't want to move everything to a different platform, but I still want to see what's on the market. So I checked LearnWorld. I had a trial period, and the guys were very nice and they extended my trial period. And I was thinking, 30 days are not enough to migrate everything, but in the end, I realized I migrated everything in 2 weeks. I had around 1,500 videos. I had 50 articles, over 10,000 students, and I'm a single army guy. I have no sales team, no marketing team.
Incredible.
I'm doing everything
by
myself. So it was actually very easy to migrate. And I'm just answering the question which others were talking about.
100%. No, it's great. It's so relevant. People are loving it. People are loving it.
This was like my journey. And within the free trial migration, I migrated everything. So I had no downtime to move from Teachable to LearnWorld, which was very good, because I was afraid, what about my website goes off and then I have to migrate again? So there was luckily no downtime. And the best part of migration was in LearnWorld, this is a tip, that you can create a template of your course, and I could multiply this template to all the courses, which saves a lot of time. And time is the biggest resource today. If you have more time for yourself, you have more time to do more stuff. So saving time is the biggest plus point in LearnWorld. And on top, I could also bulk import my students, which really helped me to synchronize my student from old platform to the new one. Yeah, so just to sum up, I'm a tech guy. I work on automation and robotics, and so I have several courses running around.
That's incredible, mate. What a cool story. And I think what I love about it is that you said that you're a one-person band, right? Like that's it. It's just you doing your thing. And I think the key thing that made that successful, and the same thing that makes like your automation and robotics successful, is making sure you have the right recipe and the right systems in place. And it was great to hear that you've started in other worlds and other areas, and then by bringing everything all into one, which initially is a bit scary because you're putting a lot of faith in the software, which, depending on who you pick, that's either good or bad. But once you did that, you're off to the right, and you're able to still scale and grow without needing to put more people into your business. So again, what a freeing and amazing feeling that must be, and mad respect, Raj, for what you're doing. Looking at your favorite features, you've got like tagging, mass email, AI course bundles and analytics, which if you had to pick one, or has that list changed since you wrote it last week or this week?
If I have to pick one, I think it's the built-in AI tool, because I'm the guy who loves to save time to do other stuff. I have many hobbies, I have a family, and I don't want to spend time on my school so that the others are missing me. So the AI tool, which I find really interesting, because sometimes I have to make quizzes. And many people can say, okay, you can make quizzes on ChatGPT, but hey, wait a second. In LearnWorld, you can write a quiz and it will organize it as well. It's not just in ChatGPT, you have to copy paste everything. But in LearnWorld, if you write a quiz, it will organize with the options and the questions, and then you're done. So which will otherwise take maybe half an hour or an hour. And so AI feature is the best one for me. And right now, actually, you have a lot of features. I haven't used all of them because every month new features are coming.
That's right.
So
That's right. Hard to keep up.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Raj.
So I still have to check your automation feature, which I didn't use it yet, but I think this will be a game changer so that I can synchronize my emails based on what students are doing. So I can tag them, which are the beginners, which are advanced, and automatically send them emails or enroll them into different courses. This will be a game changer.
Super amazing to hear that, mate. It's so
sorry,
cool.
Steve, just to comment on what Raj mentioned about the AI. LearnWorld is not just an integration with OpenAI. We have developed a layer of prompt engineering that goes between your content and what AI ChatGPT puts out. So it's not just that we give it your content and it creates a quiz. It has instructional design built in on how to create those courses. You've seen instructional design frameworks like Bloom's taxonomy, so you can have an expert sitting next to you along with the ChatGPT to help you get the output that you need at a fraction of a time, so that you can go on and build the things that you love in life. That's
You're getting me excited, Panos. You're getting me excited talking about Bloom's taxonomy. That's now like OG learning science. Amazing. And you've got that in your pocket. You're like Alanis Morissette. I got one hand in my pocket and another hand giving the peace sign. Let's let Eliza. Everyone's saying, "Give us Eliza. We want Eliza to show us LearnWorld. Give us." Give us
thank you very much.
We'll make you wait a bit longer and create more anticipation. Baby. Thanks, Raj.
Georgia.
Let's go with Georgia.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Raj. Let's go with Georgia, who is killing all your fears of migration. And then, if people have a few more minutes, Elisa will show you finally some parts of the platform. So hopefully you can stay a few more minutes to also see some live action here. So Georgia, over to you.
Well, hi everyone, and thank you for joining today. So Panos, also thank you for the introduction. As you have heard, I'm Georgia, and I work with the LearnWorld's migrations team. And I'm really excited to walk you through the migration options you have for transitioning over to our platform smoothly and efficiently. So when it comes to the migration and migrating courses or student data, you essentially have two options. So first off, we have the manual migration. So essentially, for those of you who prefer a hands-on approach to become familiar with the platform, manual migration is a great choice. The process starts with planning, where essentially you need to prepare your course content and student data ahead of time. You'll then export data like courses, users, media from your current platform, and just import them into LearnWorld using our built-in tools. Once your content is imported, you can just customize your school's appearance and settings to match your current branding of your current system, I mean. So here, the key step is just testing. Before you go live, you need to ensure that everything is functioning as expected. So by thoroughly reviewing your new site. Manual migration allows for full control over the process, but does require some time and effort on your part because it's manual. Now we have the second option, which is trusting the LearnWorld's migration services. So if you are looking for a more streamlined experience, we offer a professional migration service that handles everything for you pretty much. This service includes transferring all your course content, course settings, creating bundles and subscriptions, as well as migrating student data. We always ensure accurate migration of the course activities, the user enrollment, the progress, so that your students experience minimal disruption and just continue where they left off. Our team will guide you through the entire process, ensuring a smooth transition for your learners as well as for your admins as well. So best of all, we offer a free consultation where we can discuss your specific needs and provide a personalized quote based on the complexity of the migration. So essentially, to wrap this up, whether you choose to manage the process yourself or let us handle the heavy lifting, LearnWorlds does have the tool and services to ensure a successful transition. In the chat section here and in the email after the webinar, we will send you a link to book a free consultation call with me to discuss your needs. And please do not hesitate to take advantage of it. I'm always here to help you before, during, and after the migration process. That was it on my end.
That's so generous. Oh my God. I've typed it in the
Free
chat.
consultation call.
You would be defined in Australia as crazy if you did not take it. If you're thinking about migration, if you're on the fence about a platform, ask them if they would take a free migration call with you. And if they don't, run for the hills. That is amazing. Wow. Well done, Georgia. You are the unsung hero of the course creation world, because without you, our clients would be having absolute nightmares, because the scariest thing is moving and making change from one place to another. And if you guys can make it smooth and effortless and seamless, which it sounds like you can, that's just so many problems. As you heard from all the experts, all those problems disappeared, and it allowed you to focus on the most important thing, teaching your tribe and running your business and still making money with as little downtime as possible. Incredible. Incredible.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Georgia.
Is it time for Is it the people's champion? Everybody's been asking for it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Eliza.
Okay, I think my turn is now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you a little demo with some of the key features. As you heard, there's a ton of things. So I'm just going to focus on some of the key features, things such as the website builder, the course builder, AI that we mentioned. Then we're going to see some assessments, learning activities, user management, and things of this nature. So let me, hold on, actually. Give me a second to...
While you're sharing, it's super challenging, folks. Like I was reading some of the questions. I was thinking, if I was watching this as a participant, how would I feel? And you'd be like, oh, we want to see more of the platform. Just remember, the point of the start of this talk was we were comparing 5 other platforms. So it's not a LearnWorld sales fest here. So we've saved the platform demo till the end out of respect for the title and the purpose of this talk. So hopefully you can appreciate that. And then on the recording, you can just skip to this bit and enjoy.
Yeah. All right. So let's start off strong with the website builder. So just before I start showing it, 2 questions. Do I need an external website? The answer is no, not necessarily. So if you don't have one, you do not need one, because LearnWorlds has an integrated website builder. So you can create your pages with LearnWorlds. Now, what happens if you already have one? Then that is also completely okay, because you can connect the 2 seamlessly. So that means that your learners will not understand that, from seeing your website, your external website, and going over to the course, the transition can be seamless for them. So they will not notice a difference. Just starting off with that. So here I am over at the website builder. We have something called site flavors, and I feel like we mentioned that in one of the tables. So what this is essentially could be just a different flavor, a different version of your site. So you can clone your site completely and just kind of alter it. You may ask, why would you want to do that? Well, we have Black Friday coming up. We have the holidays, right? So what if you want to tweak some things, like for perhaps the themes, right? Make it darker or Halloweenish, or just offer, promotions that you only want to have for a specific time frame. So this is exactly when these site flavors can come and play for you, because you can activate that one, let's say the Black Friday version, just for that weekend or for that week, and then just revert it back to your old one, just, in a matter of, well, seconds, not even actually, right? And you can only build this one, and then every year you can activate your Christmas version flavor or your Black Friday flavor and so on. So this is essentially what the flavors are. Now, let me go into let me also show you some of the templates. We mentioned we have so many templates. So these are templates based on your niche that you can go off of. So customer education, NGOs, and so on. But of course, it's not one and done. You can even go further and edit those out as well. Now,
you just change the content, Eliza, yeah? You just change the content, right? Like, so for the newbies, the newbies that are on the call, it's like you just install that, add it, and then just you change the text to your text, change the colors to your colors, use a bit of a lighter flavor.
You see that almost everything is customizable. It's not just the text. So I'm going to click on Edit Inside Builder just to take you over to the environment of the builder and show you a few things that you can do besides just creating pages. Now, first of all, of course, the Learn World School will come by default with a couple of pages that you may want to use, like landing one, payment one, and so on. But of course, you can replace those with any pages that you want. And you can even have, for instance, multiple after login pages based on the user's tag. So have kind of like a personalized experience there. Now, besides creating pages, you'll see that the Pages Builder allows you to create funnels. We mentioned that earlier. You can create pop-ups as well, just to convey information, promotions, whatever you want. And you can even have your very own blog with articles and things like that. So this is the builder. Like I mentioned, it's really intuitive, and essentially anything you click on, you'll see it's editable. And not only editable in terms of, like, for instance, here selecting an image, but you can select actions. So what happens when this is clicked, or visibility options, things such as who can see this? Is this, let's say I have a little promotion over here, but maybe I don't want to share this with everyone. I can select exactly who can see this based on a tag, based on their login, and even in a device level. So will this appear in all devices and so on? So a ton of options for really any element on the page. And speaking of the page, you'll see that we have more templates over here, more things that you may want to use to build up the pages, such as like hero sections, or promote your products, or just add some media and text, and the list goes on and on and on. So you can essentially just build the pages however you want it to. There's a drag and drop feature, and just so many things that could go on and on and on. But I feel like where the strength of the Pages Builder is not only in creating the pages, but also in structuring them in terms of navigation. So how do they interact with each other? How will people navigate from the landing page to the after login page to your course page? So all of these things are things that you can also set up in the settings as well. All right, so I think I'll wrap it up for the site builder and head over to the next thing that I want to talk about, which is the course builder. And this is heavily induced with AI as well. So I think the best thing to do is just go through it real quick. So you can create a course from your dashboard as well. You see that it's a very simple step. Just follow through the wizard. I don't know, I'll say my course today, whatever, just give your course a name, add the information over here, the description and image, select the URL for the course. And this is something that I like, select the access mode, of course. If you're working on it, you may want to keep it to draft for now, but there's a ton of other options like private. I think Steve mentioned that, or someone mentioned that they did work a lot on private courses. So either or, you can choose all options over here. Let's keep it to free for now. And this is something that I'm not sure who mentioned. Javier, was it? I'm not entirely sure about that.
It was Raj.
So
it was Raj.
Raj, was it Raj?
Yeah,
perhaps.
It was Raj.
So what is this? So this allows you to essentially pick a template for the course's page, for the course's landing page. So do you want to use the default theme? Sure, you can do that. But if you've already built a certain look for your course pages, then sure, you can use that for all of the courses from now on. So essentially build that page frame once and they use it on all your courses. So this is what this is about. I'm going to leave it to the default from now, and you'll see that just 4 steps. I clicked on finish, and now the platform has created my course. So this is the interesting thing over here. How do I create the actual content? Obviously, you can do it manually, right, from here. You can also import it from another course or another school. Learn allows multi-tenancy, so if you have another Learn school, you can also import things, sync, and so on. But this is my all-time favorite option, the AI option. And I think Raj mentioned that as well, that I think it's his favorite thing. So you see, let me just show you a little snippet of how this works. So essentially, AI will help you create the backbone, the outline of your course. So all you need to do is just give it a title. Let's say it's my first online course. Let's say I'm creating a course about this topic. You can decide the types of learning activities that you want in there, forms, assessments, exams, videos. you can select the number of sections. So think of sections kind of like units, and then how many learning activities each unit will have. You can include key topics, or have it based off of another resource. You can set an instructional approach, and I think this is what you, Steve, mentioned earlier. So we've got Kolb's experiential theory, got
that was the boss there.
solve.
That was Panos that was mentioning all these learning theories. But for my world, you're putting me out of a job, dude. I went to college. I went to college to learn all about this stuff, and now you've got this in your pocket. You've got Steve in your pocket. Imagine you need to create one that says like Steve.
There is always space. There's always space for you, Steve. It's just that we are raising the bar even higher.
Love it.
Now,
it's so good.
If you do this, if you start from there, you need to go higher, and then we need more people and more expertise. So this is not the end of the road. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
No, all jokes aside, I feel like the human touch is still very much needed and will be for a long time. So I think you're good on that. So it's one thing knowing these instructional approaches, but it's definitely another thing applying it to the course that you're trying to create in your content, right? So this is definitely a major, major time saver. Let's see what's next. So you can describe your audience. So is this novice users? Is it more advanced users on the topic? Set the tone of voice and things like that. So once you're done, just click on generate. And what it's doing in the background, so our integrated AI system takes all of this information, which if you didn't have this, you would have to go to an AI tool externally, type in your prompt, and then the output, take it and bring it in here. So with the integrated AI system, you do not need prompting, you do not need to do any copy pasting, because this can directly go into the course. So these are merely just suggestions. You can go in, change the activities, have them regenerated if you don't want, if you didn't like them, or just insert it if you liked it. So I'm going to show you real quick. Boom, just like that, it's right into your course outline. Right? Obviously, it's not the actual content, but it is the basic backbone and the outline of your course. So this is how that would look like, and very, very easily. All right, so this was the course creation. I think we can dive a little bit deeper now into the types of learning activities that we can use, because there's a ton of things, and we saw that in one of the tables. So what kind of activities can you add into a Learnalls course? So first off, we have multimedia. So of course, you can add videos and make those interactive, PDFs, SCORMs. I was going to explain what SCORMs are, but I feel like Steve did a great job in doing that. So I'm just going to say that obviously Learnalls is not a SCORMs authoring tool, so you need an authoring tool if you want to create SCORMs. But we do support it. Yeah, we do support it. So obviously you can go in here and add in your SCORMs, presentations, audio, YouTube, SoundCloud. It doesn't stop here. Live sessions, Zoom, WebEx, Calendly. We have another one coming up, but I don't know if I can announce that, Panos, here. But we have a few more things coming up over here as well. Ebooks, and this is my favorite because ebooks are also heavily infused with AI, and this is, I feel like, my favorite usage of AI into the system with ebooks. So you can create them from scratch or use any of the templates. Exams and the assessment. So and I think one of the speakers mentioned that as well, that when they had to create quizzes, it is a time-consuming process. And with AI, this really is in a matter of minutes, you can have a ready-made quiz. And my favorite thing is that not only does it create it fast, but it can also take into account another learning activity. Let's say that you have an ebook. The AI tool can actually read through it and create questions, create quizzes based off of that. So this is crazy because you don't have to actually go through it and come up with questions for it, right? So this is one of the options here. Self-assessment. So if you want assessments but not graded ones, this is a great option. So if you don't want to actually have a pass or fail option for this, you can use self-assessments. Forms, of course, we have our very own form builder, so you do not need an external tool for that at all. You can do that from here. Certificates, you can use a default one or even have your own custom certificate. You can do that. And yes, you can have custom fields as well in the certificate. You can have a social community kind of type of learning activity where they need to post something as part of the course's curriculum. And of course, you can really embed anything using these tools over here. I was going to go deeper into SCORMs. I don't know, perhaps I could show you one.
I just pasted one in the chat, Eliza. I just pasted one in the chat. But yeah, you show yours. But it's an interesting one to talk about because people are confused and it's so flexible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so flexible. So essentially, SCORMs are kind of like just a package of a course that you can just kind of like take with you, carry with you, and regardless where you go, as long as the platform is compatible with it, you're good to go. So what this is right here is this activity, and I've added a SCORM, and you see this is just, the topic is hiring strategies and so on, but can you tell that this is a SCORM? It looks like it was built right into the platform, right? So you can add in your SCORM packages. If they have grades and a score, this is also supported by LearnWorld, so it will be taking into account the users' grading, so that is an option as well. I don't know, I can show you a little bit, I guess, about assessments too, just to kind of show you the options that you have in regards to the question types. So you can add multiple choice questions, and not only text, images, videos, true or false, drop downs, a custom one that you can mix and match, all of these, multiple right answers, matching and reordering, short text questions, assignments, file assignments. You can have your learners record a video straight off of their camera or an audio that is also available. And of course, this is the manual way, but you can do any of these with AI as well. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of time, but this is a great tool, a great option, and a great time saver. All right, let me go over to, yeah?
Yep, Elisa, continue. Sorry.
Okay, so what I wanted to kind of like sum up before heading over to the next one is the use of the AI assistant. As you saw so far, it's used in building the course's backbone. We saw that into the activities like the ebook or the assessments. Another option is in emails. So some of the speakers mentioned the mass email feature. This is just one of the ways to contact your learners. Now we have infused the AI here as well. So it can help you with some of these ready-made templates to create a school announcement or an update email, or just generate a live session update and so on. So AI is also used into the email. And of course, really anywhere there's text, you can use it to just further polish the text and transform it. So another option is email. AI is also used during feedback. So there's a lot of time where you have open-ended assessments and people just type in answers, right? And then you have to go in, read through it, and provide a feedback. So we have brought AI in here as well. I'm not going to go deeper into it, but essentially what it does is that it doesn't provide a generic feedback. You get to decide how strict it is, how in-depth it is, and it takes into account both the question and the user's answer, and it provides feedback for the said assessment. And I think a final appliance of the AI assistant is really in any page, anywhere you have copy and text. So let's say you're creating your homepage, you can go in here and select the text that you wrote, and you can have a few options like polish it, rewrite, make it catchy, especially for the landing pages. You can shorten, expand, translate, right? This is also another great option here. Change the tone. So the list goes on and on. And I think the last thing I want to touch upon is the user management. We mentioned that earlier as well. So user management is really very, very crucial. So the first thing that you can do, of course, is create users from scratch, do it manually. You can import, and this is really important for the migration services and the migration options. You can import your users in bulk and treat them in bulk as well by multi-selecting. You have options over here. Of course, you can have an overview of each user just by clicking on them. You can contact them, see their payments, their invoices, see their activity. You can see their progress, update it manually as well if you want to. So a ton of options over here for the user management. Now, besides the user management, we also have something else called user roles. Now, what is that? So unfortunately, not all of us are superheroes like, who was it? Raj,
Javier,
yeah, that wasn't one man
all
job.
of our guests. All of our guests are superheroes.
Crazy. And kudos to you. But unfortunately or fortunately, most people are not like that. And there's a lot of times where you require more help, more colleagues and people to help you in building your academy. So this is where this comes to play. Let's say they have a web designer, right, that is helping you out in some custom code. Now, you want this person to be able to log in, right? But why would you want to give them financial access? Like, should they see your invoices and things like that? Absolutely not. So this is where user roles come in place, where you get to decide the exact permissions per user role. So this user can only visit and access this, and this in the platform. This is exactly what this is about. There's some default roles that we've created, but of course you can create your custom one from scratch as well. Something else I want to touch upon is also tags. This was mentioned a lot of times. So you can create tags and users throughout the school. You can use them in users. Like I mentioned earlier, for instance, if a user gets a certain tag, you can have visibility options inside the platform and select what the user is going to see, for instance, right? So many things in tags are useful, not only for users, for assessments regarding their replies and things like that. So we have a tag manager over here. And finally, I think I'm going to touch upon the automations tool over here. So I'm going to show you the templates because I feel like this is a little bit more impressive. So what are automations? Just a way for you to stop doing manual tasks. So something that you need to do again and again and again. This is just doing it for you, essentially. So you get to select the trigger and then the action. So for instance, let's take a look at this one. When X user signs up, then perhaps I want to automatically enroll them to a course. This, instead of a user, it could be when the user with the X tag, for instance, signs up, then enroll them to this course, or send them an email, or whatever the action is, you want is going to be. Let me take a look at another one. This is something that I love regarding engagement. If you want to re-engage users, because we mentioned that earlier, what really defines success? Is it selling, or is it completing the courses? Because that's what we want to do. And some users sometimes are idle. So what can we do? You see that there is triggers over here that when the user hasn't accessed the course for X days, perhaps you want to send them, a little nudge, a little reminder. So there is automation such as this that can definitely make a difference and just save you time. Honestly, I feel like
this is how Raj is just one person band, Elisa, right? Like he runs a successful business. This is how you do it. You get the system to do the heavy lifting. Now, we compared a whole bunch of platforms. You have to pay extra for this. This is Zapier, this is Pabbly, this is Make. They're subscriptions, but this is built in to LearnWorlds. Well done, team.
And by the way, we do also support Zapier and all of that, but if you don't have it, I suggest trying this first, and perhaps you won't need that at all, to be honest. All right, I think I could yap on and on about the features, so I'm just gonna stop and
let's wrap it up, Elisa. Thanks, Elisa, for the great presentation. As always, in a very few minutes, you managed to squeeze in so many features, and I can assure you there are tons of them. So if you need a deep dive, just head over to our webinar section. This has been a very, very feature-packed and value-packed, I hope, webinar for everyone here. We had, as you mentioned, so many superheroes. Raj, Vinit, Javier, these guys are killing it. They're doing some great work. We are inspired by those. We are inspired by these people and trying to give them the best tools and the best guidance and the knowledge that we get from around the community. Put the features into the platform, but also create services like migration here with Georgia, and just sharing the knowledge so that people can keep doing more. We know that your work is very, very difficult. Steve knows that your work is very, very difficult. He's working with so many of you. We know that you need not just the best tools, guidance, support, efficiency, for everything that you can keep your job, your business afloat and growing and thriving. Thanks, Steve, as always, for bringing that energy and knowledge and passion and creativity and so many answers. I'm not sure if we've broken a
137,
record.
Man. 137.
And we could keep going. So from me, thanks again, also Georgia and Elisa. I'm after hearing the stories from Raj and Vinit and Javier, I'm even more inspired than before to keep on working and helping and building out the platform. We have huge respect for all the platforms that we talk about here today. I've personally worked with Google 25 years ago. We've seen these things. We've seen how people can create great businesses, but also know what progress is alike. We respect Udemy, but we also know that there's a huge lock-in effect if you don't have access to your students, if you don't just get their emails. We've seen what the other platforms can do, but we also know that we can do better. I'm not presumptuous here. We're probably the only platform that has been built and created and developed by EdTech scientists. I have a PhD in educational technology, and I'm probably now the least competent person within LearnWorlds. We have great people who learn from our customers, tons of customers. We're talking about a huge amount of users, 25,000, 20 million active students. I mentioned before, 1,300
Panos, your connection is fading in and out. But you're saying how good the LearnWorlds team is, and I can echo that, my friend. And I even tried to get a job at LearnWorlds. Not even I could get a job at LearnWorlds. You guys are so smart, right? So I mean, that says something.
I'm not sure if I can keep having a job here, because this is demanding stuff. So we're trying our best. Our mission here in LearnWorlds is to be the e-learning operating system for your business. We want to be the e-learning module that fits to all your ever-changing, complex business model needs. So we want to be that adaptable module, that Lego of e-learning that will fit into your business, whatever you do, like Javier, like Vinit, like Raj, like Steve's customers here. We know that we are that powerful module that fits to your business and can empower and make your business thrive. So apologies for the sound issues. I'm sure that hopefully the recording, it will be better. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks, Steve, again, for bringing tons of energy and enthusiasm into the presentation. Thanks, Georgia, for holding the hands of our customers and getting them out of their comfort to go out of their comfort zone. Thanks, Javier. You have been amazing.
Love you, Javier.
I'm looking forward to see your business growing. Thanks, Elisa. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for staying so late.
Thank you all.